we're about to go somewhere odd now. Times to rise and elevation starts to drop down. Our little secret, don't kiss and tell, you're so bad. I'll probably see you in hell. Welcome to hell, baby. This is podcast hell.
You do have great eyelashes.
Thank you.
Your eyebrows are going crazy, dude. You gotta
they look like caterpillars
you gotta get those
escaping.
bad boys. You gotta get those bad boys. My dad gets those.
Dude, go get threaded.
Like,
I'm dead serious. I get my eyebrows like I don't
Here's
do it
what
enough.
happened. Here's what happened. I went and got my eyebrows done one time. Walked in, my bros.
And you walked out like the Emperor.
You know, I walked out, and my bros were like, as soon as I walked in, first dude I saw that I was friends with goes, "Fuck you do to your eyebrows?" And I was like, never again. I would much rather you guys go, "Oh, you got fucked up caterpillar eyebrows," than me come in and.
But you don't.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
You don't have to do this, but try threading.
Yeah.
Go get them threaded. First of all, they cost like nothing. It's like $12,
Yeah.
and they align your eyebrow basically instead of like waxing, and they like take out little bits here and there, but it's not like as obvious. Because I've been waxed and I've been threaded, and with threading, it is more painful than getting waxed. I'll say that.
Yeah.
For the $12. But at the same time, it's so subtle that no one can be like, "What the fuck did you do with your eyebrows?" Your eyebrows just look straighter.
See, Brad, here's what you're missing. I'm married, dude. It's over. I don't got to do shit. I can have fucked up eyebrows.
Your wife still has to want to like hook up. You
That's
said
a
that.
good point.
You said that to me one time.
Yeah.
You literally are debating.
Let me
your own.
ask you, how does Liz tell you you're getting fat? What does she say?
She does once, and I get really upset, and then she never says it again.
So this
she says it once on a cruise 2 years ago, and then never says it again.
Meredith goes, how you doing, buddy? And I'm like, I'm doing fine. What's up? What's up? And she's like, I'm just worried about you is all. And I go, she's like, I just want you to take care of yourself. And I go, I'm getting a little fat, huh? And she goes, just a little.
Oh my god!
It was a good time.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Just a little.
I mean, she loves me big and chunky, but yeah, there's it's when it's crossing over to like she.
Yeah, the villain in Dune.
Well, it's more like also just the behavior. Like she's just like, I can't see you go to Taco Bell 3 times a week. Like,
yeah.
She's like,
and then you reply with, "Why not?"
Why? Oh, yo quiero.
Yo quiero, mi amor. Yo soy taco boy.
Yo soy taco boy. Look, Taco Bell's delicious. I can only eat one thing at Taco Bell now, the hard shell taco.
Okay.
And I would have thought that would have mean like, okay, I'm going to cut way back on Taco Bell now that the whole menu is off.
Now you have to just eat a bunch of fucking ceiling tile tacos.
They're pretty good, man.
No, they're not.
Taco Bell?
Stop trying to sell me
You
on
don't
fucking
like
hard
Taco
shell.
Bell?
Dude.
No. Hard shell.
Oh, you don't like the hard shell? I love the hard
they're
shell.
disgusting.
The hard shell's
I love
great.
it.
You're
Yeah, it's
crazy.
great.
No. You can only eat it. That's why you're trying to sell me.
No,
No,
dude.
I used to get it. I mean, before I was gluten free.
Yeah, I used to get the. I mean, it did have like the chalupa.
Yeah,
The one
was
that had
amazing.
like the
That
hard
was like
shell and then the bean.
I
and
just
then
tried the street chalupa. It's a brand new item they just put out.
No,
It's not it.
do it.
It's not it. And I'm a big Taco Bell fan. The thing that's been crushing right now, and it's still on the menu, is the Cantina chicken menu.
Yeah, people love that.
It's so much better than the regular chicken. It's just there's more flavor.
Yeah.
And it doesn't taste like it came out of a plastic
You
bag.
guys want to get Taco Bell after this?
We could
Don't
do some
threaten me
Taco
with
Bell.
a good time. But it's gotten expensive. Like eating there, like it's kind of it's cheaper getting a street.
Everything's
No. It
expensive.
is cheaper to get a street taco than going to Taco Bell now.
No,
Yes, 100%.
Really?
No way.
I can get 4 tacos for under $10 at a street taco thing.
Where?
Any fucking street. What are you talking about? Any tent?
Street tacos have definitely gone up. Like the ones I've been going to,
Where do you go?
No, street tacos.
They're still very cheap.
Street
compared
tacos
to-
are
The one that you took me to, that one's like a bit more pricier because that's more of a
No, but
truck.
even like regular ones I've gone to, you're looking at like $3 a taco.
Really?
Yeah.
No, dude. We got
No, you
$2.50.
Well,
$2.50 a
here's
taco
what I
right
will
here.
say. Here's what you got in North Hollywood. North Hollywood does have consistently the better Mexican. My favorite Mexican
Yes.
is in North Hollywood.
Salsa and beer.
Sauce and beer.
Salsa and beers. Oh my
So
god!
good. You
guys wanna do
But even
one?
but that's,
I can do salsa and
but
beer.
you have salsa and
Is it
beer.
open this early?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have salsa and beer, and then you have tacos fiesta and fiesta tacos.
What is this?
So I always mix them up, but they're both good. One is a cheap ass food truck that serves asada fries and everything, and that's near the Arts District. And then the other one that's near you has like the best fish tacos, just the best.
Are you talking about the place with the big clown? It's like
no, I know what you're talking about. No. You're talking about Jumbo's Clown Room, the one that's no.
Okay,
the one I'm talking about is a truck.
Yeah.
It's a truck. I'll take you to it. It's got amazing asada fries and tacos and good price.
If you want like a good, I don't know if you guys are Pastor guys, but the one that was by my old apartment over in East Hollywood, right in front of that Pavilions on Melrose. Yeah. That's one of my favorite places to just get like a cheap. Like I know, obviously Leo's Taco. I think,
that's literally my favorite taco place.
I
love that.
I start off being like, I think my wife told me I'm getting fat, and all we've been talking about is tacos.
It's food. Yeah, absolutely. No, because we're here to feed your addiction, right?
I don't think tacos are that bad for you.
I would say, okay, so here's my thing. Okay, so coming back from New York,
I mean, Taco Bell is really bad for you.
It's terrible, but it is actually
regular
the healthiest.
Tacos. I feel are.
It is the healthiest out of all of the fast food chains. I don't know if you knew that.
Really?
It is deemed the healthiest.
That's like saying who's the straightest of the queer of eye guys? Like it's all bad for you.
Yeah, the
and
queer of eye guys.
The queer of eye guys.
Oh, yeah,
Wait, this guy trying to act like he has never watched an episode with his wife.
Queer of eye guys.
What are the queer of eye guys?
This is the knockoff.
Have you guys watched these way broad shows?
You get the fuck off of my new rug. This is a new rug. I paid for you douchebags to break it in.
Love this rug.
Love this rug. It feels good.
Like home.
Feels like home.
Here's what's making me sad is your rug feels so much better than my rug. It just shows how like
old my
rug is.
But this is also very. You know what it is?
I forgot how soft it was when I first got it. Yeah.
This very much has an Austin Powers like feel to it. It's very like shaggy.
Yeah, shagadelic.
You recognize this rug?
Yes.
From where?
What do you mean?
Do you recognize the rug? You've stepped on this rug before.
This is my rug. He got the exact same
rug. See, this is how much your rug doesn't feel like this anymore. I don't know. I don't recall. I don't recall sleeping with this rug. I don't know what this rug looks like.
How much have you jizzed on your rug?
None.
I don't know. What changed the texture then?
Dirty, gross dudes coming over and stomping on it.
Yeah, enjoy this now because after like the 50th
why did you react so weird to jizz on the rug? You would never have sex on the rug?
Well, because it made me think that maybe you're jizzing on the rug.
You're also making me think that there are going to be a few.
This rug has been here for literally an hour.
Yeah, and you've just. I don't know how many times have you just.
Yeah. Also, how do we know that you guys weren't going at it on the rug before we came over? You have an hour. I don't know how long.
No, I mean you guys. Look. I'm not against having sex around the house.
Yeah. Of course, it's your house.
No, when I said how many times have you jizzed on your rug, he was like, "Oh my god, jizz on a rug," and I was like, "Yeah, if you have sex around the house, you're gonna jizz on things."
How much more sex do you think you'd have if you got in shape?
This is a conversation.
Probably a little bit more.
Yeah,
but I don't think it affects me that much.
Yeah.
What about you?
Probably a lot more.
Speaking of getting in shape.
But
Brad's looking good. Brad's lost some weight.
You do look good, Brad.
I'm trying.
Yeah. I mean, you're back in LA, so I expect you to chunk up a bit.
Okay, so we got sidetracked, but about like in comparison to like New York food to LA food, I will say eating fast food in LA for some reason is still, I find, healthier than a New York thing. Because like with tacos, like a tortilla is like not as like, it's not eating a slice of pizza. Like, you can have 3 tacos and probably not feel as garbage.
Yeah, but the problem is then you get in your car versus walking like what New York, you get the pizza, but then you walk for 2 miles.
Come on.
Oh, boy.
Come on.
He's
come on.
He's trying to read.
Come on.
Lame
Come on, baby. You get in the car, you don't get these.
Oh, my God.
All right, explain what just happened.
This is what happened. Okay. Listen, this fucking loser just did the lamest shit anyone's ever done on this podcast. Why don't you tell him? Why don't you do a fucking walk of shame and tell the audience what you tried to do?
Walk of shame? Sorry. This podcast, a very professional podcast, has been cut short twice since I've been on it.
All right, you lost your story privileges.
This is what he did. I lost my story privileges? I'm sorry, everybody.
He's trying to divert.
I want to go check if it's recording right now.
It's recording.
Oh, please, Rob, you know what?
Go check if it's
recording. Do me a favor. Go check if it's recording.
Go check if it's recording.
Oh, my God.
It's recording.
I swear to fucking God, dude.
It's recording. Okay. So
I swear as shit, I would have walked. I would have walked right there. Stop talking because you gave me the floor and you can't just.
It does look.
No, it's a great setup. I love this setup more. I don't feel as like. I don't feel as congested sitting at the table because I feel like I have to like awkwardly look at you like this. to like make it play like I'm
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
at
it's
you.
better.
No, this is
better.
100%.
This is better.
What you've been talking about.
Let me just say this. You can't just give me the floor and rip it because
Okay,
I'm
fine.
telling the
Sorry,
truth.
sorry.
No,
Go
I'm not
ahead.
talking about you. I'm talking about him.
Tell the story, but try not to have chapters in it. Let's move at a fucking reasonable pace. Tell the story of your calf.
Chapter 1. No, because I had a bit about showing my legs on the last pod, and it got cut, and I found a way to finesse and bring my leg back. And listen, that was organic. I didn't tell Rob what to say. That is called fucking tit for tat right there. I pulled out my leg. I didn't plan on it, but I knew in the back of my head, I go, at some point, I'm pulling my leg out, and I don't know how I'm going to do it.
But that is planning it.
Yeah, but that's...
You just said, I didn't plan it, but I knew at some point I would pull out my leg and show my calf.
because I'm damn proud of these calves.
The ramblings of a fucking madman. This is insane. What happened is my phone died last time we were doing the pod.
Last time?
when he showed up, when
two
he-
times.
Not the last 2 times.
Yes,
Two times.
there are 2 episodes where you don't even
Two
try.
times out of the 6 times you've been on the podcast, the phone
They
has
were the
died.
last 2 times
2
I've
out
done
of
the
6
past.
is really bad.
It's
Eric.
1 out of
That
it's
is-
33%.
That is a horrible
only
percentage.
died with
Eric,
him.
if I was your batting coach, I'd
when
be
it
pissed.
should be 0, 33 is really bad.
Okay.
And it was 2 of the last episodes, not just 1. And then
Yeah.
1 another time. They were in a row. Which
So-
I was about to give him 3 strikes. I'd be like, if this happens again, I'm not going to do the pod.
Oh my God. What would I do? What would I
don't
do
know, you
if I
probably
hit
have-
Brad's third
you
strike?
probably
Oh
have, you
no.
probably have Rob or Mike or Dylan or Ross.
Or
Name
Liz.
them.
Does
Or
Liz even do the podcast?
Me and Liz have had many fights over her doing the podcast.
'Cause she just doesn't.
Well, she comes on and she's like, has low energy and mad at me. And I'm like, you can't come on my podcast in a bad mood. And she's like, well, you have to prepare more if I'm coming on. So I go,
it sounds like Liz is starting to sound like Rob.
No, she comes
and almost
back-
like Rob had a
He
He
point.
doesn't have to prepare more for me to come on. It
I
just
don't want to
would be
prepare.
fun.
And by the way, this is how long are we going right now? We're 20 minutes in.
You could dox like 3 minutes
I
of
haven't-
that.
oh, yeah,
because
that's true.
The first 3 minutes are not usable.
it should start with just one long beep. Like sensor beep.
Yeah.
Kind of like how you used to cut the pod, where it would just be like all these like.
Yeah, where you would
I
cut
have
out.
one coming up. I think your ep I have a nice long beep in it. I
Yeah.
crossed the line.
I
crossed the line in the recording.
What line?
I can't say it. Well, then you have to censor again. Well, I'll mention it when we're off.
with
the
me?
pod. No. I said something that.
What did you say?
I can't say. I'd have to.
How bad is it
Stop
really?
prying.
It's
Clearly,
bad enough where you went, holy shit,
Who was the other person with me?
Dylan.
Oh yeah, I do remember. Yeah, don't say it.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember. That was fun.
It was a fun episode.
I like Wild Rob. I like Wild Rob on a pod.
You bring it out of me. I'm not like that with anybody
you're talking
else
about
for the
Fox
most
Rob?
part.
Was Fox?
Fox
Yeah,
News
Brad
Rob.
brings it out of me too, but you
Fox News Rob.
what?
Fox News Rob.
Fox News Rob?
Yeah.
I get a little that, but I just get I just get really angry.
Next episode, Rob comes
Yeah.
on with a bow tie, starts talking like Tucker Carlson.
If it would, I mean, look, we're all like one, rent payment away from going that route. I mean, that's
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
for sure.
I mean,
I'm literally
listen,
going-
I spent a month in Florida.
So I'm going.
One more month, I would have come with an American flag stapled to my back, and with the Hulk Hogan theme song, fucking pointing at everybody like, "I can't hear you, America."
How many more trans boxers have to get knocked out? I am a real American. Yeah, dude. No, it's always like a.
I mean, it's why I'm going back to school. I'm going back to school to become a therapist, so I don't go that route. I'm
Yeah.
like stopping myself.
or be a Republican therapist. Like, there's none.
I'm sure
You'd be the one
You have
therapist.
to- your business card has to have like camo military color. Rob Stern,
There needs to be
the
one.
cool therapist.
There should be one therapist.
Eagles
That's,
fly.
there needs to be one therapist that goes, get over it, quit being gay. Like one
I
person.
guarantee Texas and Florida is full of those. I'm sure.
I
there's-
doubt it.
You think so?
I don't think you're allowed to be a therapist and do that.
no, they're
You
definitely
got,
therapists.
You got to go way
I'll
against.
say this:
Yeah.
the comedian's therapist that everyone saw, that I saw for a little bit, he wouldn't say that, but he'd say things along the lines of like,
Get over it.
"Get over it," or
Yeah.
like,
No, good therapists do say that. Like
no, I disagree. I think that's an old style.
No, I love my therapists, and they when they say it, I mean they're better at saying it, but they say it in a way where,
Say it in a nice way.
yeah, they just say it at the right time. It's about the right time
or
of
they-
being like you got it, like it's like when you're going down the pity route versus like actual like
right
helpful, discussion of like, how can I help my behavior? It's like when you're complaining about taxes, your therapist has to be like, come on, man, taxes suck. Everybody knows that. That's life. Like,
there's that route, but there's also the route of them reverting a question back to you where they're basically saying it without having to say it to you. And you just go, oh.
Why do you feel that way?
And they're like, oh, that's no, they go, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. A good therapist makes you say it.
No, absolutely. No, 100%.
That's the goal.
The
goal is that you say it.
What I would say is a good therapist adjusts to the client. I think every client needs a different type of therapy. Like big tough dudes often need a sweet, nice guy because they're like you think you need an asshole therapist, which maybe you do.
I do.
But I'm saying like you might need like the tailored version.
I'm getting a nutritionist right now.
Yeah.
It's not a therapist, but yeah.
I don't know. It's not a therapist. I don't want a therapist, but I'm getting a nutritionist, and like you can go through the little website, and they're like, what was the one I kept seeing? They would say, healthy at all sizes. I'd be like, pass.
Oh, and then I saw... That's not even a nutritionist.
Sergeant Tim Buckle.
And I saw one that was like accountability, and I was like, that one.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah. Who's the guy that like didn't say the word ally in his description?
Yeah. Or put their pronouns under their name.
Yeah. Literally.
Which we don't have a problem with.
Which is fine, but it's also like you already know.
Yeah.
Like if that's who you're going to, like to be a militant person, you're not going to see that.
No.
I don't think you would.
There's no drill sergeants being like, does anybody here use alternate pronouns? If there's a thing, tell me now. I want to respect you. Doesn't exist.
You don't think so? There's got to be one.
No.
There's not one.
You don't think so?
Maybe the military now, maybe it's a little different, but who knows?
I always get a bunch of military clips because I watch a lot of like documentaries about war and stuff. And then I get like really funny, like the military side of YouTube like the social media shorts is really funny because they all shit on the Air Force and the Navy.
Sure.
I've had one recently that I should send to you because does your dad watch YouTube?
Yeah.
I think he would love this clip. It's basically just like, it goes different exercise styles in the military. And it shows like Marines. It's like actual footage of Marines exercising. It shows the Army, actual footage of Army exercising. Even shows Coast Guard. They're actually exercising. And then it goes, and then the Navy, and it's some woman going, move your pelvis. It's just like a clip from a 1980s aerobics class.
That's
great.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. There's like a huge rivalry between those like different branches of the military.
That's fun.
It's so fun because they are identical people.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
They're all the same. They're all like honor-driven people who love their country and would die for people they don't know. But they make this like this little distinction of like, these guys are on a boat, these guys are on a plane, and these guys are on the ground. That's like
they're all just making fun of each other for where they're literally positioned.
Yeah, what's funny is to see the different ways. The Army kind of gets to sit neutral. Army is kind of the one that gets to nobody can really shit on the Army because it's so big and it's kind of just neutral.
But it's more on like
Marines.
In your face, yeah.
Marines, everybody knows are the psychos, but they get to be made fun of. But the Army makes fun of them by calling them all stupid.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, because they're technically the first to be called in, right? Is it?
Yeah, they're psychopaths.
Yeah, they're Marines who are like ready to die.
Yeah.
They're the ones that can like hold their breath for 8 hours and.
No, that's Navy SEAls. I mean, those are the guys.
Well, yeah, but Marines are right below Navy SEAls, I would say, in terms of.
No, Navy SEAls are above.
Marines are fucking dude. Marines do crazy shit.
They do crazy because
there are
they're
Marines who can't even come close to making it into
Navy SEAls.
Navy SEals.
The Navy SEals is like borderline being like.
You're like a professional.
You're ops.
No, if you are in the Navy SEAls, you are basically a professional athlete. Like when you get into the Navy SEAls, it's because you are built different than other people.
If anybody watching this podcast is in the Navy SEAls or the Marines, they've blown their brains out listening to us trying to like
overweight guys being like, I think they're Navy SEAls like this.
It's really hard. 11 p.m. open mics.
And then knowing your name got pushed down the bucket as far as you're a Genghis Cohen. It's 12:55. You still haven't gone up.
So I know this from like reading Army football blogs.
Yeah.
But like the academies, when they're like trying to get people to come for sports, they talk shit on the other academies. And one of the things that like Air Force and Navy will bring up is that a higher percentage of people that go to West Point die.
Oh my God!
In service.
Jesus Christ!
And they're like, you want to go where the death rate is 3% instead of 2.1? Like, and they fight over their academy death rate. It's like a real thing.
That's sick.
But I'm like, I'm watching it going like, oh, they're saying that people in the Air Force are pussies for only dying at like a 1.5. Like, that's still insane compared to anything else that we.
Yeah, but it also doesn't. It also is like, if you look at it, you go, well, yeah, until there's a massive war, and then like the Navy is like, you're just like, you got every, how many Navy servicemen died during fucking World War II? It's like,
it's going to be crazy now. Like the next time we have a big, large scale war, it's like, how much of it is going to be like just our computers versus their computers?
I just watched the documentary. They already know basically what the future of warfare is because it's happening in Ukraine and Russia right now. It's literally drone warfare. It's fucking terrifying. So these guys, you basically... You have the drone set up with the goggles and everything, and then you're trying to get as close to the enemy as you can to launch because you want to stay, you have to be within a certain distance of it. But they have drone guys too, and you're literally hunting each other with your drones. So you have goggles on, you're like trying to find them, but with your goggles on, like there's nothing you can do, that at some point they're going to find you and fire a missile on your position with their drone. So it's literally guys in goggles, just like it looks like they're playing video games.
It's like the most.
At some point, a bomb is going to go off and just kill everybody.
Oh my God!
It's terrifying.
That's terrifying.
It's like the most high stakes version of like a video game ever.
Yeah, I mean, they look like they're playing video games. They literally have game controllers and like things, but
like
they're
like drinking Mountain Dew.
Yeah, I mean,
I was going to say the execs at Microsoft and Sony are just like this. I don't understand why that would be such a big deal.
Oh my God!
Meanwhile, it's some kid who hasn't left his basement who's in charge of fucking controlling all the drones.
I mean, for real, like
that
it's a valuable skill right now.
That was in an episode of Breaking Bad, I think, where there's like a guy that's operating a drone, and then he steps out and he's in a mini mall. He's like literally next to like a fucking arcade or something.
I forget what part, but he's in because it is in Vegas. A lot of drone pilots are in Nevada.
Yeah. They literally they're set up in just random spots that you would never assume.
I just can't believe they can control them that well through satellites, but I guess it's the timing doesn't matter. Like the fact, anyways.
Dude, who knows, man? Right now, if Elon has successfully re-landed rockets, right? Like he shot rockets up that have then landed on things in the ocean.
Yeah.
So I know it's not like reliable to put people on those yet. But once you can reliably, with like 99.9% success rate, shoot people up to a place in the sky and take them back, we're fucking going to Mars. Yeah. There will be people living on Mars before we're dead.
This has been three dumbasses discussing space travel.
No,
how long does it take to get to Mars?
Takes like
you could probably breathe on Mars. They're just lying to you.
I think it's like 6 months.
6 months? That is so not true. You don't know.
What type of fuel you think they use on those?
Probably diesel.
Nah, it's definitely premium. What are you talking about?
Do you think they installed
Exxon?
Do you think they installed those EV chargers in space? Yeah. Make sure the Teslas make it out there? Jesus.
Who fucking knows? I'm just saying, it's like we're going to see crazy shit before we're dead.
I think right before we die.
Right before.
It's annoying because we're seeing stuff that's like generally not. Most things are not improving our life.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's pretty cool. And it's like, I wish I could afford rent and food, but there's all these amazing inventions. Just
what was it called? The World Fair, the thing where like all like the technology goes.
Yeah, they used to have the World's Fair.
Queens.
I think life has become the World Fair in the way of like we're just seeing all these things be developed and then just go, oh well. Nobody has health care, and
like none of the actual inventions I want. Like air travel has only gotten more expensive, which is like the opposite of what I thought would happen in our lifetime.
Fucking ass backwards as it used to be.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah,
like now a bunch of airplanes are ripping out their TVs.
I saw a thing where they have train travel is so amazing, and they were showing in Finland they have this train, and they literally have one of the cars has a playground in it.
What?
Yeah, so you can just bring your kids.
Leave them
and be like, just go play in the playground.
That's fun.
That's cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Think of it. I don't know if you guys have been seeing this trend now on TikTok where they're like raw dogging now, where they're like, oh, I have a 4-hour
You
flight.
think people are really doing that? And they're just posting a photo.
But here's my thing that's fucking irritating, and maybe I'm going to sound like an old fucking millennial for saying this. You mean flying on a plane before 2010 when there was no fucking TVs or fucking social media? Like, it's crazy.
I mean, we had.
I'm using a year. I'm not saying it's 2010. It could have been a little bit before
the Game Boy.
But the thing is like, even with the Game Boy and stuff,
PSP.
the battery would die. There was no charger really for that.
But then you
shit.
took out your book or your magazine.
Exactly, but people are calling that raw dogging when they don't.
No, they're saying raw dogging. They're literally not pulling out a book. Even they're doing.
Oh, really?
That's the joke. The joke is that.
I thought it was just like, you don't have technology.
No,
so
the joke
it's raw
is that
dogging.
It started with somebody observing somebody doing it. They're like, I watched a guy sit down on a 3-hour flight and just literally stare forward and didn't do anything.
But he could have been just with his thoughts.
See, I believe I could do that. Like I do also.
You have the power to sit with your thoughts for 3 hours.
Yeah, my thoughts are insane. And if I let them go, but yeah, I have years of daydreaming experience.
You're like, it's called schooling.
Yeah, I mean, that was my entire school experience is daydreaming for 6 hours.
Yeah.
No, I wonder if I don't know. I feel like I used to be a big daydreamer, and now I get 10 minutes just with my thoughts, and I'm like, holy fuck, what's going on in there? Like, it feels crazy. Like, if we ever have a solar flare or something like that, where technology goes down and we're all just back to being in our this whole house and everything we have could just become a structure to protect from rain and objects without the technology connecting it.
It's so messed up because my first thought was, finally, I get to do stand up. People are actually need
comedy?
Human entertainment again.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be.
But I think that's kind of what we need. I think if, and this is not a fucking hot take, but I think if we don't have social media, we're more likely, originality will fucking finally flourish. People will be forced to see things that they haven't seen before and not have to be ripped and cheated from the internet, and people have to actually try. There's no more cheat codes.
Well, my hope is that social media has finally we've reached a stage where it's it's still really addicting. There's still great stuff on it, but in general, it feels like there's so much repetition that for the first time I open social media and I'll start scrolling and it'll just be I've seen all this, or I've seen every version of this.
Yeah, everything is now just a trend that's already been done, or a recipe I've seen,
because the algorithms are set up to basically only do that. They don't have an algorithm to discover originality. They have an algorithm we think this has the highest number of views. The best algorithm, I think, is Instagram. That's the one that consistently, Instagram Reels seems to show me.
Bro, I honestly don't go on Instagram Reels often, but I'd say I see the darker things on Instagram Reels as opposed to TikTok. TikTok is very obviously you look at one video for more than 10 seconds. That's your whole algorithm for the next 3 days.
Yeah, they can't.
But with Reels, I just see the most fucked up.
This
sketches.
guy likes red cars.
Yeah, here's red cars. He looks at a recipe of enchiladas. Here's all these Spanish speaking TikToks, and I'm like, where did you get that from all the things I just watched?
And you are right. I'm watching.
Yeah, yo soy taco boy.
We've joked a lot about it, but if you want to see a fucked up algorithm, just log into Clapper.
Clapper's great.
Clapper's
I think
Are you talking about America's social media app?
Well, here's what I think Clapper needs to do. I think we've talked about before.
Let's explain to the audience what the fuck we're talking about.
Please talk about what Clapper is.
Clapper is a social media app that was set up, I think, a couple years before.
Imagine if TikTok was created during Windows 95, and that's Clapper.
It was people thought if the TikTok ban was going to happen.
Yeah, it was when they first started talking about the TikTok ban. That's when Clapper started to grow.
I thought Rumble was before Clapper.
Rumble was before Clapper. Rumble was supposed to be the free speech version of YouTube.
And Rumble rules, by the way. Rumble rocks.
I mean, I post to Rumble, but I'm not I don't think it rules.
I'm getting followers on Rumble.
You are getting followers.
What are you on right now?
18.
Damn.
Yeah.
18 followers.
Everybody step aside.
Move. But it's there's not a lot
There's
of
Ben Shapiro, and then there's Erick Hellwig.
But there's not a lot of people on Rumble, so even the biggest names on it are approaching 1 million subs.
But I think
so
it's
18 Rumble subs is 200 YouTube subs. It's a smaller platform.
I think any creator should be posting on everything.
Everything.
Like, why? Because I've seen the most popular ones talk about getting videos demonetized, and it's like, well, that's why they post on, like, all the most successful ones post on literally like any new social media I go on, I see their clips and I go, oh, they're just you should just be hedging your bets and getting.
Well, once you're at the point where you're paying a team, you're like, why would you're like, hey, by the way, do this, or I'll kill you, to one of your interns, you know,
internet, huh?
Relatable.
Look, I wanted to talk about the Clapper algorithm because I was on it yesterday.
Oh, can I just say, I just think Clapper hasn't. They need to just go. We are older millennials. Gen X and like they just need to be like, we are the older person social media, and they should be like putting up billboards and just advertising it. Like, are you not a kid? Then this is like the grown up TikTok or whatever.
Do you guys watch people stream either?
Watch what?
Are you guys ones to watch people stream?
That seems to be growing. I generally don't enjoy watching people stream.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't. I'll only watch it for is I'll watch clips of wrestling streamers when they're watching live episodes of Raw.
I mean, that's
like
there'll be one that gets you.
It's like, but it's having like an extra announcer with more energy because I feel like the announcers in WWE are
I do watch Bad Dog Sports during the NFL because they're Giants fans.
Oh, you told me about that, how they talk shit.
And it is a very enjoyable, like, I'll put them on and just listen to them versus the announcers sometimes because it's just like, you know, it's just fun. It's fun listening to a
real conversation.
Well, but they do the announcing. They just also like say stuff that the announcers can't say because they're on national television. So they'll be like, this guy's a piece of shit, or you know, something that's it's fun.
The answer to the question you asked is yes. You both watch stream. You both went, no, we don't. I mean, I watch hours of Giants and wrestling coverage.
So I think the difference is we pick one that have like a niche where it's like they're watching something else. Where I've seen streamers who just sit there and they're just live on the internet.
I do stream once a week now, though.
Oh, you really?
Yeah, I play a board game called Blood on the Clock Tower.
Oh my God! Ask him one more time if he streams or watches people streaming.
I own a streaming company.
Why are you guys not on it?
Jesus.
But we stream once a week, and it's really fun. Here's the thing: if you're streaming something that is a long version of something, like wrestling or a football game or a board game where it's like people are interacting with something they enjoy, because that's the fun of it, is that the stream gets to type in, like, I don't run the stream, Chris Grace runs it, but basically people get to write in, you know, like what they think of what's going on, and it's, you know, they're interacting with the thing as it's happening. Right. That's the fun of it.
That's also like do you watch the Peyton and Eli Monday Night Football?
Sometimes I love them. I just think I'm like
I watch that over actual Monday Night Football.
Sometimes I switch back, but sometimes I just want to hear the actual normal.
But you acknowledge that is like TV's version of trying streaming. To get streaming.
Yeah. They should, if they did that. I mean, that's what they were gonna try and do. I think with Netflix was have something where it was like you could interact. But they should. I mean, the interaction is really fun, and it's a great source of revenue. Like if you have a successful stream, you're doing very well, because the way it works is you have to, like, if your podcast ever succeeds, you should offer a streaming version.
Or do like YouTube Live where they can like send money for questions.
Or like a Patreon. You do like
but that's what he said is where the money is at, because that's what, same with Bad Dog Sports. That's how they make their money. Is anytime you want them to respond to a question,
you put in
you pay like
$2.
Or
they want or send a question being like or an acknowledgement. They'll send like $50 and they'll like write a message in that.
Yeah.
It's basically like OnlyFans but for like podcasts.
Great.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Great.
That'd be awesome.
You guys don't watch Love Island, do you?
No.
Why such
Meredith got you into it, didn't she?
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm it ended, and now I'm watching like the videos of the people, the interviews of the people now that they're off the show, and just confirming that they're dumb.
Yeah.
Which they are.
Yeah.
But it's hard to not get, once you're in it. I can't start watching something and stop.
But are they dumb? Because part of it is also like you've seen how much money these people can end up making. So it's not like insane. Like they're dumb, but they're also like
they're very smart.
very aware at this point. Back in the day, so it was like people didn't realize what reality TV was, didn't realize what but anybody doing it now.
It's completely calculated because they know it's a way for them to they're getting famous.
Yeah.
They're making money off fucking crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like when I worked on RuPaul for a couple months, I found out, first of all, how much these drag queens make once they get off this show. It's insane. Like, so I had this, so the way it works is they film the season with the new contestants, and then they do the All-Stars, which is the bringing back old contestants together, and it's for charity. When I like just sat and listened to some of the conversations, they're like, "Oh yeah, I had to host this event. Oh, it only paid like $150,000," and I was just like, "Who are you? I've never heard of you. How are you making this money? It's so fucking crazy to me."
Oh my God.
they doing it. I mean, RuPaul started fracking. Remember? Do you remember that?
Wait, no.
Oh yeah, there was like a whole thing where it was like RuPaul. I mean, RuPaul is like a billionaire, and was like somebody found out, like, you know, you could, I guess you can find these through certain reports that RuPaul had leased land to a fracking company.
That's the most like evil villain mogul shit.
I mean, it was a weird thing because you talk to like anybody in the LGBTQ community, and they were like, you know, it's that thing where you're celebrating the success. You know, it's like this thing where it's like, obviously we're against fracking, but it is cool that
they're giving a voice to all these drag queens.
Yeah, well, this drag queen got so successful that they're just
like,
part of the 1% now.
But that's also kind of like what it is, though. Isn't that what Hollywood is? Is just to give an opportunity to the voice to the voiceless, and then eventually realizing that, oh, they're also possibly like having a child factory making clothes.
Yeah, Hollywood has always been the same. The reason people hate Hollywood is the same reason they hate Wall Street. It's just like two sides of the same coin. Hollywood they hate because it's the fake. I give a shit about people. Blah 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 blah. And it's like, but you're pursuing like wealth and fame. Like you're clearly not like, you don't care so much about people because it's not the drive of your life.
No, because everybody, like, everything that you do in Hollywood, you could do on your own for art's sake and not make money. Like
it's called living in a small town.
Yeah, or like, but like you could also make movies or do things with your own.
Like you could be an artist.
Yes, everybody can take their fucking phone and make a movie.
Yeah.
So it's like if you move here to try to make movies here, you're trying to get blown and get rich. That's part of what you're doing here. It's different than just like, you know, whatever. And like, go take a fucking watercoloring class.
I will say, there's a lot of people are honest about. A lot of people are honest about that, but it's the people who aren't honest about that. It's like that make people sick. It's this idea of like, oh, and also it's the Hollywood thing is the hosting fundraisers.
Oh yeah,
it's like Rock, when the Rock was like hosting a fundraiser, and everybody's like, "You're fucking billionaire, dude."
Well, that was the.
Why are you the one hosting? Why aren't you not the one just being like, I started a foundation full of money?
Yeah, anyway, or just if you want the attention, just make an announcement. By the way, I donated $100 million to this.
You see, The Rock is getting sued by the Army.
No.
What? So the Army made a deal with the UFL that like the UFL would like put Army patches on the jerseys of the teams.
So I mean, can I just tell you what's happening in my brain? I'm really annoyed that none of us could think of a joke. It feels like such a great setup for a joke here.
The Rock is
being sued by the Army. Feels like anyways,
let me tell the story. Maybe a joke will come.
Yeah.
So they were supposed to put it's supposed to help with recruitment, obviously. And The Rock agreed to do 5 social media posts for the Army, which they paid him basically $1 million per post to do.
Oh wow.
He did 2, and they got 0 recruits from the UFL because nobody watches the UFL. Yeah. So the Army's suing The Rock and the UFL for like not fulfilling the contract.
Well, talk about a rock bottom.
The contract?
He had to post 5 times on Instagram.
And he only posted twice?
He only posted twice.
Well, that's stupid. He should just post.
I don't think they put the logos on all the uniforms, and they got 0 recruits out of it.
Talk about a rock bottom.
There you go. No, don't.
I want to let you know that you all stepped on it the first time, and I made sure to bring it.
That's what happened. That was why.
Yeah. Puns get no respect.
No, I know. First of all, I went in this knowing it was a bad joke. I want to be clear.
It's not, but here's the thing: it's not a bad pun. It's not. Talk about a rock bottom.
It's the first joke anybody would come up with when they hear The Rock and him being sued. Rock bottom.
Well, it's the first joke any wrestling dork would come up with. Most people don't know what a rock bottom
is.
No, everybody knows.
Most people don't know what a mark.
You don't think so?
If you pull,
no, most people don't know what a mark is.
If you pulled America. Not a mark. I've seen even the rock bottom.
How big is the wrestling? Because it does feel like it's got to be like most biggest fan base of like
most of the middle of the country. I'd say are wrestling.
It's growing now.
And now it's way more international.
I would say if you just took there's 370 Americans. I would say 19% of them know what a rock bottom is.
I'd say more. I
don't think Liz knows what a rock bottom is.
Liz doesn't know what a rock bottom is.
If I said, Liz, you looking for a rock bottom? She'd think that was a drink.
It does sound like a drink.
She'd say, She'd say I married one.
She just pulls out your fucking marriage license.
We were looking through our marriage license the other day. I don't think we have one.
What?
Well, so
you're supposed to get it certified.
So you're technically not married.
It's possible we're not married.
What do you mean you don't have a marriage
Liz
license?
applied for one last night after we got home from Trap.
You guys haven't been legally married?
No, I think we're legally married.
No,
if you don't
you're
have a
not.
marriage license, you're not legally
We don't have a copy of it.
That's
okay.
Okay, well that's different.
And we might not have it.
Okay, so you might technically not be married.
Yeah, well, if that
You
was
might have just had a pretend fucking wedding.
If that was the case, it would still be okay. Life would be all right.
Which means
we would.
Unless one of you ended up in the hospital, and then they're like, "Of course we can let you in. Let's just see that marriage license."
That's what they do at the hospital. They say, "Show us your marriage license."
They do.
No, they do not.
I have no.
Yeah, they fucking. You're such a fucking liar.
You're fucking framed as your wife's
Put that on a
getting
scroll.
Yeah, no.
But we do have a copy of ours.
We don't have a copy of ours.
Yeah,
we need to. She applied for one last night.
Wow.
I would love it if it turns out you're not a citizen. It's like we're gonna.
Dude, I was born in Germany, man. I could not be. I mean, who knows?
There's worse places to end up. You have to move to Germany.
My mom told me, she was like, you could have had dual German citizenship. And I was like, oh, well, what was, I mean, there must have been something with just not being of age, blah, blah, blah. And she was like,
we just said no.
We just said no.
God damn it.
The other thing she said, why
are they making decisions for you like that?
This is the other thing she said. Every year we moved, we moved every 2 years. So I was in a new school every year till 8th grade. And I always assumed it was I was going to a bad public school the first year, and then they put me in a private school the second year. And then when I asked my mom about it, I was like, is that why you were moving me from school to school? Because the first year was bad? And she was like, no, we just thought maybe a new school would be good for you. I was like,
Jesus.
What? Why? I had friends in the first school. Did I never say that?
I think all what you're telling us is that your parents have zero idea how to make decisions for you and just ruined your life in certain ways that you didn't realize until
just
now.
I'm the first. The first kid gets...
And they're like, we can make mistakes on all these.
Yeah, well, you don't know you're making a mistake when you're making it.
The first kid either gets everything or nothing, basically.
Yeah.
You're the we didn't have anything, sorry. Like when you were born, we didn't have anything. And then, the later kid gets everything. Like my youngest brother, he's made good points of why it sucked being the youngest, but one of the things he definitely benefited from was he was born in the house he grew up in, and my parents were well established in what they do with their life by the time he was an older kid, and he didn't have to go through the
struggle
ups
phase.
And downs of we're moving again, we're we're changing jobs, I have to do this, I have to do that, all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he said, so I was like, you had it, we had a fight. It was like, you had it so easy. He goes, no, I didn't. I had to deal with you. And I was like, great point.
Did you fight with your brother a lot when you were young?
Joey, I did. My second, the one who's 2 years younger than me.
Physically fighting, or were you just verbally?
Oh, my God, yeah.
Hitting him as hard as you could?
Oh, yeah. I elbowed him in the face one time, gave him a bloody... you fight. You go at it.
I didn't have brothers. I don't have brothers.
Yeah, but you were... How old is Christian?
Christian is 32.
Yeah, so he's too young for you to have had that. But Joey was big enough where we were literally just we were fighting because of, how we felt about our home life. But, we didn't know that until we were older.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
We never...
if Christian was older and you guys were going through that divorce...
I'm telling you,
guys would have been
fucking. I'm telling you, bro. Not to toot my own horn too much. I was a very good older brother. I never got physical.
But because I'm saying he wasn't old enough. He was too.
But my sister was, and my sister's my age, and my sister was stronger than me for many years.
Yeah, but my sister, I never fought. We got maybe one physical altercation.
I don't think my sister used to fucking slap me, give me the rug burns, all those fucking things.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude, she used to fucking before I got my growth spurt. It would literally be me screaming for my mother.
My sister used to beat me in basketball, and because she was like girls have that growth spurt in middle school, so she was for like a solid like 2 years like as 6 inches taller than me or whatever.
My sister was like,
and she's a great at. My sister's a fucking
very athletic.
Oh my god,
my sister.
We have a story. This is a true story. When we were in Ecuador, the car we were in got stuck in the mud. Before we could say anything, my sister jumps out of the car, gets behind it, and just starts pushing, and pushed us out of the mud. Wow. I mean, with the wheels turning. Like, we literally were like, "What? Wait, what's happening?" And then all of a sudden we were moving.
You were in the car, too.
We were in the car.
And Rob's in the back going, "Yo, soy."
That's the thing, though.
Hurry up, Taco Bell closes in 20 minutes.
Ecuador Taco Bell has a bunch of unreleased items that I have never seen before.
So Ecuador, like much of South America, tacos is Mexican.
No, I know.
Yeah, and it's like you go to South America, and it's like it's a whole they have their own cuisine. Great food. Ceviche is from Ecuador.
Gross.
You don't like ceviche?
Don't like seafood.
You don't like seafood. You
probably way too many fucking plantains.
Long Island and Florida, and you don't like seafood.
No.
Boo.
I've worked at many seafood
places.
We gotta take you to Astoria Seafood the next time we're in New York.
Yeah, that's okay.
Astoria Seafood.
I'll meet you after.
Not even fried fish. Like you want to have like a fish fillet or
nope, fish and chips. None of that.
Can I tell you a story?
Not even sushi. Like there's
nope, don't like sushi.
Wow,
it's crazy. You need to have a positive look. Astoria Seafood.
Tell me what I need.
I'll tell you what you need. Yeah. Just zip it. You're my little brother.
Look at these two.
This gets so mad. Whenever I say he's my little brother, he gets mad because he's like, "Oh no, just because you're older than me doesn't mean you have advice for me." No,
Brad, definitely take eating advice from these two guys.
Enough. That's enough.
I didn't know that you guys would be my dietitians.
No, I wasn't trying to tell you need to eat seafood. I was saying you got to go to a seafood place that like offers a fun experience because then you'll associate.
Dude, he grew up Long Island and Florida, and he doesn't like seafood. That's wild. Like,
but you've tried it.
I've tried fish and seafood. I don't like it.
Because the entryway is always like fried. You start with the fish fillet.
Lobster,
my mom started
crab.
giving me fish sticks at a young age. I was eating it, and then there was one point where I just go, I'm done with this.
Wow. Is it textural, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And smell. I don't like the smell.
What about a scallop?
No, you can't. Scallop is like extreme. Scallop oysters.
I will say, scallops on a plate when they're plated really nice, like they look gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I would never put that in my mouth.
What about a catfish?
No.
When I was a kid, we lived in Louisiana. There's a place called Catfish Junction.
It wasn't about catfish. He had a story.
Fried catfish.
We get fried catfish, and also this is what I was saying about the restaurant. The restaurant experience is important. You could go to Catfish Junction and you could get peanuts and throw them on the floor.
Oh, so it's a Roadhouse grill. It's a Roadhouse grill.
It fucking ruled.
Nah, that's a cool thing.
It was a cool thing. It was in DeRidder, Louisiana. It closed years ago.
Have you ever been to a Roadhouse grill in the 90s? That's what you got to do. They had barrels of peanuts. You get to sit and wait, and you throw them on the ground.
And I've never been to a Roadhouse grill.
You never got to a Roadhouse grill as a kid?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know Roadhouse grill.
Imagine if Outback had instead of brown bread, buttered sweet rolls for your free bread. And then when you walk in, putting down your name,
I bet it costs
barrels of peanuts.
Yeah,
and you can just as you're in line, kind of like at Five Guys.
Have you been to it since? But you can
throw it on the ground and the whole floor. Sorry?
Have you been to it since prices have gone insane?
Roadhouse Grill closed years ago, unfortunately. And I think that was probably a food thing that got ridden up. Probably a health concern when there's a bunch of peanut shells just on the ground.
And people just putting their dirty hands in piles of them.
They're pretty serious.
Can you imagine what the health code was like then to now? Like now it's like if a fucking spatula is out that was used 10 minutes ago, they'll write you up and give you a bad letter for that.
Yeah, they ruined the great idea at Ali Faranakian's Pioneers Bar where you could get a haircut and eat pizza at the same time.
Wait, they used to... Wait.
Thanks, health code.
Wait. So they used to give haircuts in Pioneers?
Yeah. He was like, I remember Is
the same guy that you brought me to that one time, right? I came with you to get a haircut. Oh, no, wasn't you. I think it was Adrian Davidson who brought me to like a haircut upstairs by the studios. There was a guy who was doing like haircuts.
Oh, I do not remember that. Maybe.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
This was different. Oh, yeah.
There's a Russian dude giving haircuts in the studio.
Some fucking guy that Ali made friends with, and he was like, you know what? There's no place where you can get a beer, get pizza, and get a haircut. And I remember like when he told me being like, so like your hair will be falling into your drink and your food.
Well,
it's disgusting.
That's best case scenario. The more likely scenario is some random person is like, why is there a hair in my beer and pizza? And then look over to the left and see Eric getting a buzz cut.
And you see a guy going,
yeah, that guy.
You see fucking Sweeney Todd in the corner cutting your hair.
That guy that didn't speak English.
No.
He was just like an immigrant guy that our boss befriended and then was like, let me build an entire bar concept.
Don't you love when somebody takes one thing and it's fine the way it is and then adds 10 different things?
Stuck around. He's
still around, yeah.
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 It's just that in the pit loft now.
Yeah. When is Ali coming to do the podcast?
I don't know. He's
got to come visit LA. I feel like it would be I'd put him on the podcast. You'd put him on the podcast.
I would definitely put him on the podcast.
We'll take him to the UCB and like light a bag of poop and put on the front door.
Call the shit poop.
Probably, I mean, how old is he now? He's not a young guy.
No, 50s though.
No, he's got to be older than that.
I think he's like in his 60s.
No.
Yes, dude. He's old. He's not young.
He was like in his mid 40s when I was 22. And now I'm 38, so he's probably like 60 now.
Yeah.
He's probably not lighting bags of poop unless he wants to get caught. He can't run away.
Do you used to do that?
Did I ever let? I never lit a bag.
Did he used to do that?
No, I don't know
we're just making up.
I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've ever lit a bag of poop.
CVS used to always be out of eggs right by UCB. It was weird.
I used to do stupid shit. I never lit a bag of poop. That would be.
I never lit a bag of poop.
That's too gross.
I've never done poop.
It's too much work.
I've thrown eggs. Definitely,
everybody's
thrown
throwing
eggs.
eggs. Everybody's.
I used to
I've
go
thrown
to
eggs.
the neighborhoods without so like in South Florida, like where I grew up, there was a lot of like gated neighborhoods, and that wasn't like a luxury; it's just something that happened. And there were neighborhoods that didn't, so we would just drive through those neighborhoods and just fucking light up.
Yeah,
houses and
I was
cars.
definitely
For fun.
Yeah, I definitely did some shitty stuff when I was a kid.
Some kids robbed banks.
I kidnapped a dude,
What?
cut off his fingers, and mailed him back to his.
I really did try to kidnap somebody.
What?
Did you really?
So in my fraternity, one of the things you had to do was kidnap a brother when you get initiated.
Oh god.
And I mean, one of the scariest moments of my life. We chose the two of the worst guys to try and kidnap. We'd invite them over to the pledges are like, I forget what we said. We were like going to play video games or something in somebody's apartment. So they come over, but this apartment was like a duplex, so it had stairs. And the two guys they invited, we were like, okay, we'll kidnap them when they're here. They show up, and I'm like, we chose two. Both of them are like 6'3", like they're huge fucking dudes. And I was like, okay, so how are we doing this? And they immediately realized what was happening. They're like, are you guys trying to pull this off, huh? So it just became a fucking rumble. Literally, like all of us, we had rope and everything. We're like trying to.
You like hogtied these
We got
kids?
one of the guys. One of the scariest moments of my life. We got one of the guys on a chair. I mean, they're fighting us the whole time.
Yeah.
Got one of the guys on the chair. We're tying his hands behind his back, and he starts rocking the chair. But I'm telling you, he's like. In my memory, he's like 3 inches from the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
And he's like rocking back and forth. And all I remember thinking was like,
If he goes backwards, it's
I was
over.
like, what are you going to say to the cops? Well, no, I know this is bad. It looks like we tied up a man to a chair and then threw him downstairs, kicked him downstairs. He broke his neck. But it was just goofs. Just goofing.
We're just brotherhood.
Insane.
How'd you get the other guy?
We did. I just remember there was a point where I don't know which one of us, but I just remember at some point, I feel like I must have played a part in this, been like, this is like, come on, guys. Like, I think I said to even the guys, we were like, I was like, come on, guys. It's like, we're going to, somebody's going to get serious. Like, it was probably after the stare thing where I was like, this is just, come on.
We gotta stop.
We got to stop. Let's call it a day.
You're the voice of reason, even in your drinking days.
Maybe what
Rob was actually saying was like,
my memory of it is like I have like a suit.
And it's actually Rob tied. It's Rob tied to the chair. Being, come on, tie me to the fucking chair. We're gonna kidnap him.
My memory of it is me in a bow tie with like a top hat, and I'm like, fellas, please, this is that. And then cut to is me in the corner mumbling and like pissing myself.
It's everybody looking at you and you're going, throw him down the stairs.
Like, who are you talking to, Rob?
Break his neck. We'll tell the cops it's silly game.
And then all the brothers are looking back. They're like, just ignore him. Can just come to the van with us.
Yeah, one of the dumbest. I had a couple of situations with the fraternity where I was like, holy crap, like that. And then there was one where two of the like scariest guys in the fraternity, one who was like a state champion wrestler, and the other guy was like, he was an Army ROTC 6'3" big fucking dude. And they just started arguing, and it was just me and them two. It was literally like two guys I could never.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing I would have been able to do. I would have just
hey, guys,
I mean,
fellas.
for real, literally at one point, the wrestling dude, both great. They're both great guys, but the wrestling dude, because the Army guy had knee surgery, like they were about to fight, and he goes, all right, buddy, how's that knee doing? And he taps his knee, and I was like, Jesus Christ, that's the most fucking intimidating.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. This whole story with the fraternity. I just see Rob with one of those spinning caps.
Yeah, of course.
Come on, fellas. Hey, come on, fellas. And he's just, he's like the whiskey bottle. Like, oh shit, it's Rob.
And I stood up. I took my top hat off, and I said, fellas.
I just love the idea of Rob just perfectly having piss pants the whole time.
You should not drink because it seems like it's important for you to not drink in your life.
Yeah.
But can you imagine hanging out with
Drunk Rob? It'd be fun.
Must have been crazy.
I was really fun. I was a fun guy. I would do crazy shit. And then I would do stuff that was like, hey, man, don't do that shit. That's fucked up. And you'd be like, yep, all right.
It's Rob pulling a mailbox out of the ground.
Yeah, there's like enough nights you remember. For me, I was lucky to I was lucky to quit early on. I know people who are trying to quit now, and it's just fucking hard. The older you get, the harder. I was very lucky in that I kind of hit rock bottom real fast.
Sure. You hit a rock bottom.
I did hit a rock bottom.
Hey, call back to another badge.
But I have like I do have specific memories of like what made me quit. Like there's a couple of nights where I was like, oh yeah, like I had one where we were having a great time. Everybody's having a great time.
Yeah.
I took a beer bottle and in my apartment and just went like off my balcony, just went like whoop, and just threw it it was just like, what are you doing? It hit the fucking like porch window of the other apartment.
My God.
Fucking immediately shatters the window. And imagine just like a chill, fun hang where everybody's having a good time, and then you just immediately through it. Everybody just turns and goes, "The fuck, man!" And just runs out of the apartment because it's like very clear that the cops are going to come.
Yeah,
and the cops came, and everybody left. We immediately shut all the lights off. Because we saw their lights turn on, obviously immediately because they heard fucking shattering, and then we turn the lights off in our apartment. We run, everybody leaves. I run, like hide in the room, and then the cops come and I come out in like my boxers and I go, "Oh, what's up, officer?"
The worst acting of all time.
And the cops were like very clearly like. Like it was like so clear they knew it was me. They just like there was no proof. There was no
probable cause.
Yeah, there was no way to. I answered the door, pretended I had been asleep. You smell like alcohol.
He comes out in his sleepy hat and a nightgown and be like, "Oh, hello, officers. I was just in my slumber." He pissed his pants too.
Those are the good times.
Yeah, very good times.
Guys, we're at time. This has been fun. Thanks for breaking in the new rug.
Oh, this is great.
Great rug.
Gordon's loving the
Gordon
new rug.
is honestly half. I even told you that I bought something else that's coming. It's a big Barker dog bed.
He's good. And
I'm gonna put it right there.
But you know,
is it the human dog bed? Have you seen this thing?
What's the human dog bed?
I've seen that.
It's literally a dog bed for humans.
You put it on top of your mattress.
Well, you don't put it on top of your mattress. It's like a separate thing.
Oh, okay.
But it's like literally you can sleep in it and your dog could sleep in it with you. It's like,
oh, it's cool. This is
cute.
like a really nice dog bed that's big enough for him.
You hear that, Gordon? You're moving up in the world.
I think he'll do the dog bed over the car. I think he's loving this carpet.
I think he'll do both.
I think dogs don't need the bed. They're good with this.
I have so many plans.
He clearly loves this. He is.
Well, I would do the same thing Gordon's doing right now if we weren't doing a podcast. Yeah. I'd lay on this.
The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Home Depot and get AstroTurf. And I'm gonna put like a little like thing on there so that pee. Not just so he can pee, when he can go out there and lay down and not come back in and be like filthy dirty.
Yeah,
like a waterproof, like artificial green surface.
Smart. I like that a lot.
It's gonna be cool, man. Every time you guys come back, there's gonna be new shit. I want to make that porch like an actual place people can hang.
Yeah, put a plant.
Can't wait for like the secretary to be in the front to check us in for the podcast.
Kind of. I mean, that's Liz. She does check people in. She says hi when they
She
come
did
in.
give me a glass of water.
Yeah, is she?
For a glass of water.
There you go.
Hear that, Liz? You're a podcast secretary.
Yeah, she's gonna love that.
That's not offensive. It's not offensive. Yeah. You hear it?
Yeah,
You're the secretary.
Hey,
Wife.
Liz, if you're
Nobody tell Liz that this is happening.
Delete.
Hey, Liz, if you're listening to the audio, because I'm sure we didn't get the video of this, Eric said quotation secretary. I saw him with his fingers and his thumb.
Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna cut out the part where I call my wife a secretary, and I'm gonna leave the part in where Brad pretends to be an ethnic minority on all of his applications.
Sure.
That's what's gonna happen with this pod.
I mean, who gives? I mean, we don't care.
I'm not lying. I didn't say I'm nothing.
No, you're just
I
saying
said
I'm
no.
not telling you what I am.
I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's me
it's none of
going,
your business.
It's none of your business
Yeah.
what I am.
I do check Latino on medical forms because I am 25% Latino.
get it.
You are a white Hispanic man.
I am a white Hispanic man.
You're Hispanic.
with a fiery temper.
That was very German sounding.
Yeah, that was very
I'm
German
wearing the
sounding.
most German shirt I can, by the way.
Oh, by the way, I love that we didn't talk about that. I love that your parents had the options. Like, do you want your kid to have access to free healthcare? Nah.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Your life would be amazing now if you had dual citizenship.
I feel like he would have
You
been
think
speaking
so?
German by now.
Yes, you would 100%.
Dude, I already kind of did a little bit when I was when I was in Mexico. We were at the part of Mexico where, like,
every summer you'd go back to Germany.
let me finish my story.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of this. We were at a water, like, it was like this top of this mountain where there's like natural springs you could go in, and nobody was going in because every year, like, the Mexican, like, I don't know what it is. It's like different municipalities, a different group owns it every year because it's like, special land or something.
Sure.
So there's like contradictory signs walking up to the springs, like, make sure you're wearing a bathing suit, never go in the water, no suntan lotion in there, it's bad for the spring. If you go in the water, we cut your head off. Like, literally, as you're walking, we're like, are we allowed to go in or not? People are wearing bathing suits, towels, and then you go to the spring and there's like 20 people just standing around it looking at each other, being like, they don't know whether to go in. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going in. And right before I did, I heard two German chicks talking. I could kind of hear what, like, they were saying, like, should we do it? I don't know, the signs. And I just started kind of going back with them in German and said, like,
How old were you?
this is like 3 months ago.
So you know German.
I know enough to kind of know what people are saying. It was like,
Who spoke German in your house that you were...
I took German for 4 years in high school, and then I took a trip to Germany, and my dad speaks German.
Really?
So I speak like very little bit.
You're enough to know if
Enough to be like,
really talking shit.
hast du Water in? Like, I can have you gone in the water? Like, just basic shit. And then I jumped in. That was the point of that story. That story sucked.
All right, well,
But the point
anyways.
was I could kind of speak German for a minute. And Liz was like very impressed.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yes. She'd never heard me do it.
It's fun. Very rarely do I get to speak any Spanish because most people speak English, but every once in a while I get to use a little Spanish around someone at a time when it's needed, and it feels great. Feels
I wish I
amazing.
could speak.
What do you say? Do you say?
No, like I
do you
could say. No, I can just say, like, you know,
Yo
like
soy taco.
I say yo soy taco boy.
Sorry.
If my grandfather was actually a Nazi like you guys make fun of, I would probably speak a little more Spanish because I'd be from Argentina.
Listen, I grew up in
Yeah.
South Florida, and I still don't know how to speak Spanish, but I know enough when people are saying mean things about me. So
Yeah, I know. I speak enough Spanish to know when my grandmother's about to hit me in the head with a broom for jumping on the bed. That was meant to be funny, but it bummed everybody out.
All right. Well,
Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
This was
having
great.
us.
So before we go, where can people find you online? What kind of things are you doing with your life? Now's the time to talk to your audience and let them know.
Just look for the Rob Stern Show anywhere. I'm on all socials, and you can just Google it.
It's Brad Stoll on all socials. Yeah.
Great. Well, guys, this was great. And Brad, will you come back to the podcast? I know you were threatening
Depends
before.
on how much of that is revealed. Let's see how much footage you got.
Let's see how this recorded.
Talk about having no leverage in a negotiation.
Absolutely not.
I'm never coming. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. Later.
Thanks for having us.